Hey kids, come with me. We're going on a bushwalk today. It's going to be really fun. Whoa, look at that big tree. Trees like that are awesome for animals to live in. Thousands and thousands of animals would live in that tree alone. You might say it looks dead, but there's more living things in that tree than in a live tree, because it's a home for animals like possums and birds and lots of spiders and insects. How cool is that tree? Can you see the top? How it's got broken off? That means the birds can land and make their nest up there, especially eagles. Pretty cool, huh?
Let's keep walking and see what we find.
There's nothing like the sound of a waterfall from the snow melting off the top of the mountains.
I need to find some soap to wash my hands.
So which leaf do you think makes soap? I'll give you a clue. It has yellow flowers that form on it. Can you guess which plant it might be?
Do you think it's this one? Or this one? Or maybe even this one? If you guess the last one, you are correct.
Well, most wattles and acacias across Australia, if you take them, dip them in the creek, or some water, scrunch them into a little ball inside your hand, scrunch them down so that breaks up the leaf, roll it in a ball with the water, roll, 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 roll. And there you go. Soap tree, wattle or acacia tree. And this one with the spiky leaves, it also makes soap.
And now it's time for What Scat Is That? I found a scat. That means an animal poo or feces. And it's square and it's got grass in it. And it's really near a log. And you often find them near rocks. I wonder what could have done this one. I'll give you a clue. It's a marsupial, so it has a pouch, and its baby's called a joey, but it's not a kangaroo. It lives in a burrow. It has brown fur, is short and strong, but can run 50 kilometers an hour. Is this what you were thinking? It's a common wombat.
Here's another one. What can it be? It's white and black, and it's at the base of a very tall hollow tree. I wonder what might have perched up there. That's right. It was a bird. As you can tell, I love big old gum trees, especially these giant snow gums.
Can you spot the kookaburra?
But there's some strange things that happen to trees.
The tree behind me used to be really, really big. Can anyone figure out how it fell down? Have a close look. I'll give you a clue. It looks like it's got charcoal on it. And charcoal means it's burnt.
Here's another burnt tree. Let's take a closer look. Wow, it's a hollow tree. Cool. And it looks like it's chopped off at the top.
Wonder how that one came down. Can you have a guess?
That's right, lightning strikes the tree and it burns. That's why no other trees around it, or very few, are burnt.
What did Aboriginal or First Nations people use these nodules on the tree for? It's a bowl called a coolamin, and they were used to carry grains and various food items as well as small babies.
It's very small cone-shaped holes. I'll give you a clue. It's native animal.
Is it a rabbit or a bandicoot? It's a bandicoot. Bandicoots are native Australian animals. They have long, pointy snouts, which they use to dig for grubs and fungi. They also have a pouch, so they're called a marsupial, just like a kangaroo, and their babies are called joeys. The rabbit is not an Australian animal. It comes from England. We call it an introduced species. England's that tiny little island up the top, and Australia's the big one down the bottom. That's a long way to come.
Who's been scribbling on this tree? I wonder if you know.
Let's take a closer look. It looks like there's a thin line that gets bigger and bigger, like the hungry caterpillar, and then turns around in a loop at the top, and then it just stops. Was this what you're expecting? It's a scribbly gum moth larvae, and it burrows its way through the bark just like the hungry caterpillar. Then it turns into this beautiful scruply gum moth.
How did this tree fall over, I wonder? How did all these trees fall down? So you're going to be the detective now. You got to tell me whether this tree
Fell down because of natural means or man-made means. So what I mean by that is, did an animal or the weather do this to the tree? Or did a human come along and do this to the tree? Have a look at the evidence around and see what you think. It was a trick question. There's evidence for both man-made and natural means for this tree coming down. We can see that the tree's fallen down, and it did fall down in high winds, but up the back there's a circular log chopped off by the national parks to help clear the path.
Can you guess who's been hiding in this hole? It's down there. It must be able to dig. And it must be pretty big. It's not a cat because it's not Australian. It's an Australian animal that digs in the ground and lives in the snowy mountains.
Nope, not now. He's probably sleeping. Wombats are nocturnal and crepuscular. That means they come out mostly at night and around dusk and dawn. Who made this big pile of rocks in the bush?
Wonder if there's anything in there.
There's meat ants in there. Meat ants build a high nest to protect their queen from rain and predators. But watch out, they really sting. Hey, what's this? The ground's all dug up and there's stuff everywhere, sticks and debris, and it looks like it's coming from up the hill. Wonder what happened. I can tell you. I figured it out. The water came down the hill, made it all mushy and lovely like a big mud bath, and the feral pigs that live in the national park have come through and dug it up to try and find mushrooms and all sorts of grubs underneath the soil. That's what did it.
Wow, isn't that the biggest tree you've ever seen? Look at this. It's nearly bigger than me. Sideways. Look at that. It's giant.
And this is where it comes up to on me, right up to my hip. I reckon if that tree could tell a story, it'd have thousands.
I found a leaf on the ground and look what it's got on it. Some strange little circly things. Wonder what made that. Do you know? Was it an animal?
Insects. They lay their eggs inside the leaf where they're safe from predators until they hatch. Clever, huh? The discoveries are endless in the Australian bush. And I want to thank you for joining me today on The Adventure Kids. And I hope that you will get out in the bush soon too and have some fun with your family. And thanks for joining me on Adventures with Kel.
Yeah, I love the snowy, so many good memories. Yeah, I love the snowies and those big old gum trees.
See you out there in the bush.
And I dream of the mountains and those white snowflakes.